Hello, Steve White, Steve White's 89. Well, Monday, October 11 was like coming out day. And I was thinking I'd make a video about my coming out. And then I actually missed the date because I was busy doing other things. I'm like, well, I didn't actually get to come out, so I guess it doesn't matter if I'm late doing a coming out video for coming out day when I didn't get to come out technically. But yeah. I don't know, I like a lot of kids who are gay probably outed themselves, without even realizing it when I was younger, because you don't understand that you're gay. You don't understand that what you're doing that's natural to you is different, and other kids don't really understand, but adults see it and they know. So apparently I had friends tell me that their parents said that they knew I was gay, and everyone knew I was gay when I was a kid. Now, how they'd know that, I don't know. I mean, it's not like I was jumping up in the middle of story time doing Jeannie's dance or breaking into show tunes like There's No Business, like Show Business, the Ethel Merman version. I didn't know. I didn't know. I did these things not realizing that's not what little boys are supposed to do. Yeah. So, yeah. Now, high school, of course, I was confused like most. I kind of thought I was straight and I would be with girls. I wasn't that sexual. I was kind of asexual when I was in high school. I think some gays also have that experience where they don't really develop a real strong sexuality because they're not exposed to like examples of gay sexuality, and they don't automatically go to their own sort of heterosexual sort of sexuality, so they just sort of stay in this no man's land. I think I was sort of like that in high school. But there was a point where they started to call me gay when I was in high school, and I was very defensive of being gay and gay rights, but I never actually said that I was, because I didn't know, frankly. I'd never had been with a man or anything, so I wasn't going to take that on without actually knowing that was the case. So I was always defending gays. Now, when we got to year, 11? I had figured I was at least bisexual, because I don't even know why. I don't really recall having any attraction to men at all or anything like that. But it was just something that was put on me that I had to sort of reason. And I said, well, I must be at least bisexual. I must be at least part gay or something. And that's the easy path to take, because you can come back from that. You can say, well, I'm bisexual, I like men, but I prefer women, I'm going to have a heterosexual life, basically. You can do that and get away with it. So I went to the mother of a friend that I was close with, and I was struggling with a lot of things, and she called my niece, who came over. My niece is older than me, and she came over and she basically said, I think he's got something to tell you. And she said, I don't know, I can't remember if I said I think I'm gay or I think I'm bi, I can't remember. And she sort of helped me a little bit, but I eventually told my mother, and I told my mother I was bisexual. I remember that, because I wanted to make it easy. I thought, well, I'm probably gay, but at least, and give her some hope while she gets used to the idea, and then, steal that last little bit of hope away from her, and just totally come out as gay. So I told my mum, but I told a couple of friends as well that I thought I was bisexual, so I had some interest in men. I must have had some awareness of men at that time. I don't remember anything from that. I mean, I don't remember being really attracted to any men sexually. I remember wanting to hang around boys, some that I liked, that I was interested in as people, but it was never sexual. I was really asexual for like I said, a lot of gays I think are. But then when we got to year 11, I told one friend that I was bisexual, and they knew I was questionable or whatever. They didn't care. We were friends. It was fine. But there was another girl that I'd known since I was in primary school, because in my town we had two primary schools on different sides of the town, and Catholic high school, and then all the people from basically the other high school went to the other high school. So all the primary school people sort of came together in high school, and then unless you're in the Catholic sort of high school, that was different, and that was usually the Catholic students just went straight from one to the other. So there were a lot of people that we sort of met around year 6 that we hadn't sort of grown up with, that we did high school with, and then we only had high school for year 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we had to go to college for year 11 and 12. So college was, again, a whole different bunch of people, but this is someone I'd known like my whole life that had gone to school with me. And I told her I thought I was bisexual, and I just told her just because she was a friend, it seemed relevant. And then she, being a two-faced you-know-what, went around and told everyone that A, I was gay, and that I was attracted to a friend of mine. And this friend, who hadn't heard anything about this from me, nor his mother, who I had told I was bi, had a bad reaction to it, because I guess he defended me a lot, because he was sort of the person who sort of befriended me out of this sort of group, because I was sort of an outsider in a way, and I was friends with, like, high schoolers, there's different cliques and everything. There was like a group of geeks and I was friends with them, and then there was a group of total outsiders, I was friends with them, and then there were the popular kids and I was friends with a couple of them, so I kind of got in with them by default, but they didn't like that I was there. But it was sort of like, well, he's my friend, so he's like adjacent to this group, so they couldn't really get rid of me. He was one of the people that also, once we went to college, I sort of befriended, and he sort of was my sort of ticket into that group, because they couldn't do anything about me because I was friends with him. They'd be making an issue with him. But once I betrayed him, he never spoke to me again, and it was fairly traumatic. I also had the ex of a friend who was stalking me because he thought I broke them up, and because I was gay. So I was going through a lot, and I did nearly commit suicide at that time. That's a whole nother story, but it was not easy. So this girl basically outed me, ruined my life. I got kicked out of the groups that I was in. I still had one core group of friends, but everyone else sort of pushed me out. People who I had been friends with for years were now calling me faggot and things, and basically saying that I somehow had betrayed this friend, and his girlfriend was also a friend, because apparently I was trying to encroach or something. Like I said, I had no sexuality, I had no sexual attraction to this person. I just wanted to be friends with this person. I liked them. And it was really upsetting to have my sexuality used as a reason for these people to, disown me and not be friends with me. And I did then this was about June, I think, of year 11. So in Australia, and if you're watching this from somewhere else, we have school from January through to December. That's like our whole school year, or February through to December. So the middle of the year is basically, we have some holidays, but that's it. So it was the middle of the holidays, and when I came back, basically, I didn't have any friends. I wasn't in any of the groups anymore, and I was basically on my own. And some of my friends I did have left in the second year, so I spent that year, half year, and then the second year of year 12 basically just by myself, being an outcast, because I'd been outed as being gay. And I got attacked a few times, I got assaulted a few times. There were people who lived in the city, because I lived in the town, I'd travelled to the city, they'd heard I was gay, and whenever I went to the city I had to worry about them finding me, and I got attacked a couple of times and had to literally run for my life, and I outrun them, because it's weird. When I was in school, I could never win a race, but whenever one of these people who were sports stars and always winning the races chased me to beat me or whatever, I always outran them. Something about, fear of death that, can make people move faster, I think. So yeah, it was a very lonely time. I wanted to come out to my family, and one of my relatives, that same niece who I had come out to, told me that, basically made me feel guilty and as though I was being selfish, because I wasn't thinking about my mother and my family and the shame it would bring to them. So by coming out publicly, I'd be basically dragging them into my problems, and that I shouldn't do that, because it would basically how it would affect them. And being a reasonably considerate person, I actually thought, well, I don't want to embarrass my brother. I don't want to bring shame to my mother. I don't want them to be harassed. My mother had already been harassed a lot by this guy stalking me, who would, that's a whole other story, because I was living in her house, of course, so anything that was done to me, she was there too. And I decided, okay, I'm not going to formally come out. So I just went away to university, and I was out to my friends. I never actually came out. I just wasn't in the closet. People worked it out fine. If they asked, I'd answer them directly. My family, I did lie a few times, because I was trying to protect the other people. So And it took a while before I eventually came out slowly to individual family members. I never actually came out myself, but then my evil niece, who I had come out to a little bit before that, a younger one. I've got a bunch of nieces, a couple close to my age, and the rest are like their children. So I consider them my nieces because I consider my nieces like my sisters because they're all around my age. But technically, that's a whole other story as well. But they basically, my niece outed me. I was home for Christmas and then I left before New Year's. She was there till after New Year's, and after I left she told everyone that I was gay and that I was basically running around the city sleeping with all these ethnic guys or something. She apparently had an issue with that. And yeah, she badmouthed me and some people who, they're in denial. I think sometimes people, they can't handle you being gay and they just go into some level of denial. And as long as you don't directly state that you're gay and they don't directly ask, they can just live with this and they're okay with this. But once I was officially outed and they knew for sure I was gay and it wasn't just a question, something they suspect but don't know, because there's a difference between thinking, suspecting and actually knowing. They basically treated me differently after that, and some of them kind of stopped talking to me. And the mother of the niece who did it, my sister, she made a few homophobic comments here and there and had when I was younger and growing up, and she was one of the people who let me know that that is wrong. You cannot be that, or you will sort of, there will be, you'll be punished for it. You can't sort of be that. Don't be that. That's a shame. She shamed me for being gay before I knew I was gay. And she died a couple of years ago, and we were never close because of that. And it was really upsetting to sort of know that my sister didn't really love me and didn't really care about me or want to know me as a person because of my sexuality, not because of who I was as a person. And it didn't bother me so much when she was alive, because I think you always have that idea that you can maybe sort it out one day. When she was dead, and that was the total of our relationship, it was really upsetting. So that's my coming out story. I didn't get to have one. I was outed twice by a friend and family members, and disowned by friends and family members. And I really wish I had just had a big coming out moment, like at some family dinner or something, for myself to be proud, to just have it be out there and just done, and not live with the anxiety of in and out, am I not, for years and years and years, which I did. But I did it because I didn't want to hurt my mother, basically. My dad as well, but I was living with my mother and wasn't close to my father. So it was more for my mother and for my brother, who I knew would get harassed by his friends because his brother was gay, and my dad would have the same thing because his son was gay. Because my dad, I did meet up with him once in a pub. We were having a reception for my mother's birthday, and someone said, "Oh, your dad's in the bar." So I went in and said hello to him, and he was very quiet because his friends were all saying, "Oh, that's the gay son from Melbourne. Oh, that's that one." And, I knew that was... So it's not fun. Coming out is not fun, but you need to do it for your own self-respect and for pride and to be proud and to show people that, being gay is okay and good and you should do it. So I didn't get to come out, but if you haven't, you should. That's all I have to say. I just wanted to tell that little story. I don't know if it'll help anyone who maybe is in the same situation as me, where they're feeling ashamed by it and that they should stay in the closet, at least partially or superficially or publicly, so that other people are spared the shame of being, related to a homosexual. But don't do that. I did that. Don't do that. But yeah, I've been out since I was outed. To my family, it was like, well, no secrets here. Half of them probably knew, but like I said, they had that protection of not actually knowing technically, so they could just turn a blind eye and pretend like it wasn't happening. But yes, I've been out since then, and my life as a totally out person has been much better than a confused or closeted one. So if you're in the closet still, or you're confused, just come out, just do it. Unless you're in some environment where your life's actually in danger, which is not really an issue for most people in Australia and a lot of Western societies. I don't know. For me, I wish I'd done it. If you can, if there's no direct issues, like if you're in a country where it's illegal or something, just come out. It's worth it. I think you do find out who people are in that moment, and it's a lot easier to just get it over in one moment, pull the band-aid off, and then deal with the repercussions rather than live in the doubt of what will, who won't. You know, you're just dragging it out and prolonging it. So that's my experience, that's my advice, that's my rambling coming out, not coming out story. I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think. Thanks. Bye.